Hey Dude, Flix Anonymous. I don't know, it's just awesome.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Human beings were not meant to sit in little cubicles staring at computer screens all day.
Plan B is just to keep on giving her. Like, you work hard. That's what... Is that a plan? Yeah, that's a plan right there.
A guy opens his door and gets shot, and you think that of me. No. I am the one who knocks.
I know what you're thinking. I've kind of lost track myself. Being this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and will blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, bunks?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Flix Anonymous on the Cannabis Life Network, the LeagueOfManchildren.com, and the DailyHive, which is now national. I don't know why I say that every week, but they're national.
So is CLN.
So is CLN. We the League of Manchildren. I guess you can receive it in any province. So we're national too.
Any country.
Any country. Yeah, we're international.
Your podcasting's going on, eh?
Yeah.
You've got other things going on outside of this. You're two-timing me.
I do. I do have a brand new podcast. What am I going to plug this right now?
Plug it right now, Steve. What's your brand new podcast?
I have a new wrestling show that I do with my friend Brian Constantine. It's called BS from the Turnbuckle.
Yes.
We do a weekly podcast on everything WWE, everything, any rumors in sports entertainment. You want to know about Sheldon Benjamin coming back to SmackDown Live? It's going to be on our show.
What you going to do, brother?
That's right. So I talk wrestling every week, but we're here to talk movies as we usually do. We have a massive slate of movies on this episode 39, the last episode of our goalie series.
So this is going to be the last episode of our goalie series.
This is our.
I think we've decided, right?
Yeah, we've decided it here because in the 30s is where generally you find your goaltenders. So this week we have the Dominator, Dominic Hasek, is number 39.
39, yep.
Massive goaltender. Nikolai Khabibulin.
Hasek, I remember beating us in the Olympics.
That's right.
Yep.
Khabibulin's beat the Flames in the Tampa Bay series.
That's right. Yeah.
And then Rick DiPietro, which you just said is the highest paid goaltender
To never play.
to never play.
Never play a game.
Yeah, because Garth Snow made a really smart choice in the Islanders.
Those like huge contracts that they signed at that once upon a time.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But this also kind of represents the Vancouver Canuck slight goalie graveyard and somebody that's still playing for us. Ryan Miller was number 39.
He's 39, yep.
But Dan Cloutier was number 39.
Well, the goalie graveyard hasn't eaten Ryan Miller up yet.
No, not yet.
No,
Not
but
yet.
yes, you got Felix Potvin.
Yes, Felix Potvin.
Yeah, and Dan Cloutier.
Yeah, so
I forget Potvin was a Canuck.
Yeah, for a few minutes there.
Brief time, had a
for a
brief
few
cup of
minutes,
coffee.
but those are actually some names with goaltenders as opposed to some of the weeks that are like Antero Nidimäki.
Yeah, so we're moving on to our show next week is going to be brought to you by something else.
Something completely different.
All right.
So we'll play around with that. Yeah, exactly.
Talk hockey on our movie show.
Yeah, right? Why not? So let's head right into all the new releases this week. There's only 2 that are going wide, and this is the first one. This is the next spot in the DC Comics cinematic universe, hoping to make up for Batman v Superman, the dawn of who gives a shit.
Yep.
This is Suicide Squad. Take a look.
What do we have here?
What are you gonna do? You gonna kill me, Mr. J?
What?
Margot Robbie.
Oh, I'm not gonna kill you.
I'm just gonna hurt you. Really, really bad.
So yes, Miss Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie.
Who, I mean, is one of the best parts about this movie. Surprisingly for me, especially after how much I slammed Terminator Genesis, Jay Courtney actually works in this movie for me as Captain Boomerang. Will Smith is Will Smith. I mean, standard Will Smith performance. Jared Leto, I have massive issues with in this movie. This is not the Joker I wanted. This is not the Joker that I think a lot of fans of this character are going to want, because he's like a sleazy nightclub owner.
He totally is.
That's totally what he felt like.
Straight out of Goodfellas.
That he was, making, cocaine deals at the back door and sliding roofies into girls' drinks. Like, that's really the feeling I had. And you can feel studio massaging throughout this whole film, as there's just too many cooks in the kitchen in this movie.
Absolutely. This movie had so much potential. And you're going online right now and you're seeing all the negative reviews. I really recommend you go see it. I think it was a little bit better than Batman versus Superman.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
but it definitely has its problems in the story. Margot Robbie, I thought, was fantastic as Harley Quinn. I actually really liked her for about 85% of the movie, and then the writing for her just takes a nosedive. And that's really the main issue in this film, especially, is the writing. I didn't really like the dialogue that much.
No, me neither.
And so it's just piss poor writing, some really good performances, some nice ideas there, but they just couldn't put it all together.
I think the biggest problem with the DC universe right now is they're trying to give it like a battle-worn feeling and give it like this grit that it doesn't. I mean, a lot of these characters don't need that kind of approach to it, and I feel like
with Suicide Squad, I could understand doing that.
I do,
and trying to make it a little bit fun, which they tried to do, kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy in some sort of way, where every, like you were saying, every villain in this movie has a walkout song.
Yeah, they really do. It is like wrestling. They all have their walkout. They might as well have fucking pyro.
Get as much trendy old music as possible, because we'll sell a lot of soundtracks.
Exactly. I do also have to say that Cara Delevingne is just atrociously awful in this film.
Yeah.
Just so bad. They're Enchantress is a neat character, and they do some neat special effects when it comes to her transformation into Enchantress, but she just looks goofy by the end.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely goofy. And the guys that they're fighting, the army that they're fighting, look like the Power Ranger putties that they're fighting.
Yes.
Almost so they can just like decapitate them and smash them in half and do all this stuff, and it doesn't.
So they can
really
have some action
any,
scenes.
Exactly, and it doesn't have any bearing on their PG-13 rating that they can do all this stuff. Had this movie been R, it might have been a lot better. But had the writer of this movie not seemed so loosely distracted the whole time, we might have got something different. There seems to be a lot of focus on telling backstory in weird flashbacks, and then going, like, not just having one backstory, but then moving on to another character, and then another character, and then another character.
And then forcing down, like, toilet plunging Justice League down our throats some more. Let's just, here's some more Batman and the Flash, and let's try to connect our really shitty DC universe.
Exactly. And there's even one part where they almost, like where you know, the big information is revealed to the Suicide Squad of why they're there, and we already know that information. Like, they tell it to us twice, and they even show us it twice. So, I mean, the movie could have been shaved down in time of how, because it's 2 hours. It's a little bit over 2 hours, and
looked like too many people got involved.
Yeah, too many cooks in the kitchen. So I wasn't as hugely sold, but I'm not going to smash it entirely. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. That's what I can do for this one.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. Look, some people are going to find it fun, and I know people are going to go online and try to get Rotten Tomatoes taken down because, you know, they don't like DC films apparently. So let's try to take Rotten Tomatoes down with a petition.
We just don't like bad films.
Yeah.
We just want something good. How can Marvel really almost knock it out of the park every time, and DC can't even get a movie that you can solid on? It's good. Like, they can't even get to that point.
Yeah, and what's crazy about Marvel is they knock it out of the park with the small screen and the big screen.
Really?
You know what I mean? It's like they're just like kicking ass everywhere, and DC is just like, And I want DC to succeed. I really do, man. But
yeah, me too. Especially the characters they have.
Just need to give the stories to better people who can do something better with it. You know?
Yeah.
Better directors, better
I think they
writers.
handcuff a lot of people, and that's what happens. And Zack Snyder is just not a good director
anymore. There's just so much money, There's just so much money put into it.
All right, so we're going to move on to something. We're going to go from not great to just horrible. In a massive shift.
Enjoy our film reviewing podcast.
Yeah, right.
We're going to talk about shitty movies all night, everybody.
Hey, you're releasing these films, and one studio in particular, VVS, seems to be where the bad ideas go.
Bad idea company.
Where the bad ideas go to to come to fruition and slap on our screen in terribleness.
They slap us.
Yeah, they totally slap you, slap the audience. They've already done it to us at the beginning of this year with Dirty Grandpa, and really push Robert De Niro into an early grave. But this time they're taking Golden Globe and Academy Award winner Kevin Spacey and they're turning him into a fucking cat. Here's 9 Lives.
Oh, not Frank Underwood.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, what?
Oh, hello.
Hi. You look familiar.
2 great people I'd like to see in
I
any
doubt
other movie but this.
I know you from somewhere.
Well, I'm on TV a lot.
Yes, Animal Planet. I love that show.
No, not Animal Planet. I'm Tom Brand. I own Firebrand.
There you go. I use newspaper in the poopy boxes, and I see your face all the time.
Look, I'm a little late for something, so we could just get on with it. Meow.
Sure. You don't like cats, do you, Mr. Brand?
Look, can I just pick one out and then I'll be on my way?
You don't pick a cat, the cat picks you.
Look, I make $1 million decisions for lunch. I'm pretty sure I can pick out a cat.
See that? He likes you. It figures because he's attracted to troubled souls.
Christopher Walken, Kevin Spacey.
I love
Come
Christopher
on.
Walken, but Christopher Walken is becoming this existential person in like family and comedies and stuff. We know from the Fatboy Slim video that he can dance his motherfucking ass off, but he's also capable of independent flight. From Adam Sandler's Click, we know that he works in the back room of a Bed Bath & Beyond. I guess he's the Beyond section, and he has a magical remote that can fast forward, pause, and rewind time. And now we know that he can put fucking Kevin Spacey into the body of a fucking cat.
Yeah.
This movie, this is made by Barry Sonnenfeld, who did the Men in Black movies.
Okay.
He's decided to go to VVS as well to put a nail in his coffin of his career as well. This movie, I mean, it's for kids. It's a G-rated film. I brought my 3-year-old to it, who burst into tears at the themes of death, suicide, and attempted murder that take place in this film.
That sounds like quality family entertainment,
it's
Steve.
The absolute family stuff. And
Pixar shit right there.
Exactly. And there is so much cats shitting and puking and all on stuff. And this film's slightly gross. Audibly, it's annoying as the cat is screeching throughout the whole movie when it's not Kevin Spacey. You could almost feel Kevin Spacey rubbing his check all over his face in the audio booth as he's doing the voiceover for the cat. Yeah, like he's just so pumped to get his money before this film comes out because this is a goddamn stinker of a
Frank
film.
Underwood.
What are you doing, buddy?
What happened?
What are you
man?
doing?
Stay in the White House.
The villain in this is Kelly Ripa's husband, Mark Consuelos, who really like.
How do you say his name?
Mark Consuelos.
Mark
Consuelos. I don't really know him. I think he's like he used to be a soap actor.
Oh,
or something
probably.
like
Mark.
Because she was a soap actor.
Just listen to his name.
Too.
He's a soap opera actor.
Yeah. So this movie is shit. It's a 1 out of 5. This movie is terrible. Just terrible. Or sorry, no, this is a 0.5 out of 5.
Oh, we went 1 and then we back down to 0.5.
Sorry, no. I'm trying to remember my written review that I've already done. It's a 0.5 out of 5. This movie's not good.
Just when you thought you were gonna get a 1, you get a 0.5.
Yeah, this movie. There's just no reason for this movie to exist, and they took 5 writers to make this fucking thing. So just avoid it entirely. Even your kids won't care for it.
They should have been 9 writers.
Yeah, right.
I don't know why. Just because it's called 9 Lives.
Yeah,
anyway,
Suicide Squad
on.
could have lost some people to make 9 lives, maybe.
Yeah.
So
9 Lives were done.
Fuck that.
Business.
So let's move into our limited releases. These ones are a little bit off the beaten path. You're going to want to check your local listings to see if you can find these movies near you. Yep. The first one comes from Ang Lee, many-time writer James Schamus, who makes his directorial debut with this Logan Lerman and Sarah Gadon film called Indignation. Take a look at the scene here. Sarah Gadon's so gorgeous.
I wanted to see
Escargot, it's the name of the restaurant.
It's an interesting one.
Snails.
I
have a feeling Marcus Messner has
I'll
never
talk
seen
about
them
it in a
served or
second.
eaten
I'm
before.
like,
you want to try one?
there's certain things
No,
I was like
So
a little
Marcus Messner decided to take Livia
miffed
Hutton
with.
to the only fancy French restaurant in all of Franklin County.
I'm so sorry. Do you want to leave? Is this all right?
Hey. Relax. You're so intense.
Trust me, I'm trying.
Logan Lerman, man, I
He's
heard his
great.
performance in this is excellent.
So good. He is really great in this film. Sarah Gadon is fantastic in this film. Just to give you a little background about the story,
Yes.
it takes place in 1951, where all the young men are getting drafted to go to Korea.
Right.
And but Logan Lerman's character has managed to find a way to get out of the draft by getting accepted to a college in Ohio. He's from New Jersey, kind of escapes his overbearing Jewish father.
Right.
Kind of like he's an atheist as well, which is really iffy with him and his family.
Right.
So he goes to this school in Ohio and comes across Sarah Gadon's character, and they go on that first date that you see there, and then before he drops her off, she decides to give him a blowjob. And it's 1951, doesn't exactly know, this is kind of his sexual awakening, and he doesn't really know what to do with that, so it kind of gets in his way, because he's a very standoffish character, and a very, all of his dialogue's very serious and very proper and everything.
And she's a little crazy.
She is a little bit crazy. So this is a little bit of you want it to be a love story, but it's more just a story of these two people trying to accept each other, him more than her. I really enjoyed this movie, but there's stuff in the end of the third act that I just thought was incredibly cold. This movie doesn't leave you with any kind of wrap up or any kind of
no warm fuzzy feelings.
No, not at all. And I thought for how much it gets you into it, it just pulls everything away very coldly, and it's just like there you go. So that's what I had a problem with. So I'm not trashing the movie at all. I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5. Like I still think it's a very good movie, and it is one of those sweeping dramas that you are going to be interested in, and that the Academy might be interested in looking at when that season starts to roll around.
Yeah, if you're probably a fan of Logan Lerman.
Yes.
And you want to see a good performance, it's probably worth checking out, right?
Definitely. I mean, it's got an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes, and the Metascore is at 83. So that's pretty good. Yeah. That's pretty good. So Indignation, you'll probably want to check that one out if you like a good drama. The next one is a film from India, from a first-time Hindi film director. And it kind of is like a Steel Magnolias for the Indian woman. This is Angry Indian Goddesses. Take a look right here.
Yeah, it's really
Oh,
fun.
like it? Guys.
Seriously?
Who is that?
Ooh.
Hi, he's sex on post, yeah?
Hey, hot now.
ये रोज ऐसे धोता है?
Hey,
शर्म नहीं आती?
behave yourself.
शादीशुदा?
रवि को फोन करो.
They appreciate beauty in all forms.
Oh, I like that it doesn't have subtitles in this. But they jump between talking in Hindi and talking in English. They do a jump quite a bit.
Is there subtitles in the movie?
Yes, there is. Yes. Because one of the characters was British born and stuff, so she doesn't even have an accent at all.
अपने काम किया उसको. अच्छा.
It has a weird score to it that has stuff like this in it. Yeah, it's...
Oh, well, maybe not something I'd watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting film just because it's a female buddy comedy. And coming out of India, these films don't get made. These kind of films don't get made.
Not even like Bollywood?
Not really. Well, there's a variety of Bollywood stuff, but yeah, maybe in a Bollywood fashion, a comedy like that. But they would have a strong male character in the film as well.
Yeah.
They don't have one in this movie. It's all led by the ladies, and that's very progressive.
Absolutely.
For that country.
For that culture,
and I do hope that this does a lot of good within the country of India and brings more films like this to prominence.
With strong female roles.
Yeah.
You know.
And I described it.
Story.
I described it as because it's a female bonding film, right? Like that's what I mean by female buddy comedy. So it does have that reminiscence of like the Steel Magnolias or Fried Green Tomatoes or something like that. But in the third act, it takes a very dark twist, and I think tonally the movie completely shifts over. and lost me entirely.
So it's another one of those films that has pretty much an ending that you find too cold and too sudden?
Yeah, this one's not cold. It's just a complete, complete 180.
Is it just unbelievable?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Especially the last little bit, because then it just really tries to shove a moral at you that it was loosely trying to hit on at the beginning of the movie.
Okay.
And then it's just like, bam, right in front of your face. You're like, oh, okay.
Slap!
Yeah,
Okay.
that pretty much it. And,
All right.
and because of that, I'm scoring it a little lower. It's a 2.5 out of 5 for me. But I think a lot of the lady audience is going to enjoy this one. A lot of the female audience is going to like it, especially the older female audience that knows films like Fried Green Tomatoes and Steel Magnolias and stuff like that. They're going to enjoy that if you want an international flavor of that kind of movie.
I love those.
No, you're feeling that. You're feeling that.
Pretty Woman?
Not quite Pretty Woman. We're going to talk about the director of Pretty Woman in just a few minutes here.
Yeah.
The next film is from acclaimed Japanese director Hirokazu Korida.
What?
Hirokazu Korida.
Hirokazu Korida.
Yes, acclaimed Japanese director. This film is getting a lot of steam right now. It's called Our Little Sister. Look at here.
Nice.
どうしたの？あ、こんにちは。
I got subtitles on this one.
ゴール決めたお祝いにね、2人で
We're
ちょこっ
listening.
と
We're
飲んだん
listening
だ
to
け
some
ど、
Japanese.
私が
I
自
could
分
listen
用
to
に焼酎
Japanese
しか
all
タ
day
バコ
long.
持ち込んで
I like the language.
Me too.
It's really pretty.
どんぐらい飲んだの？あ、これ一杯だけ。
It's delicate. You know what I mean?
陽子さんなんて大嫌い。
Beautiful.
父さん
Listen.
バカ。暑い。手が気持ち悪い。ああ、ちょっと我慢してね。よいしょ。我慢大丈夫？こっちこっち。
What the heck?
あの子やっぱり煮詰まってたのね。いろいろあったから。見られ方があんたそっくり。あ、私はあんなに暴れないわよ。
Yeah, it is. So I don't get what the movie's about.
Basically, it's about 3 girls that go move in with their grandmother after their father passes away, and they've been living there for a while. And then the secret comes out that their father had another child with another woman, and they have a half-sister who comes to live with them, and she's younger than all of them. So she's their new little sister. So they have to come to terms with the fact that their father wasn't faithful to their mother, and that they have this other child.
Sister, yeah.
The reviews on this one are really good. It's a 91% certified right now, 74 on Metascore, and it's really for the people that really love those traditional Japanese films. Kurita is a person that's very celebrated in his country, and if you like Japanese films, you know this director's name. This is apparently the crowning achievement in his filmography. So if you like Japanese cinema, you're going to want to go track down Our Little Sister.
Yeah, a lot of fans who watch this who are, of the, international movie fan variety.
Yeah,
and so that's probably one to keep on your list.
Definitely. So now we get to my favorite movie of this week, and as far as new releases go. This is a documentary about a young man named Owen Suskind who dealt with a sort in the spectrum of autism and used Disney films to learn how to communicate. This is life animated. Take a look.
Okay, listen up. As soon as everyone gets here, we'll begin. Yeah?
Can I just recommend that instead of saying listen up, you say may I have your attention?
May I have your attention, please? When everyone gets here, we'll begin. I started a Disney club so I can get to know more people and they can be around me, so I can be more popular. It worked. Tonight we're watching some of The Lion King because this year's the big 20th anniversary of the original release of The Lion King. Yeah, sure. Shall we?
Not only am I a big Disney fanatic, but I also like to play magical movie scores on this piano.
We watch parts of Disney animated films and discuss them and see what they're really about in our lives.
This movie is just, it's incredible. It's heartwarming. It'll really take it out of you emotionally as well. Especially, we're both parents. So there's parts where his parents are talking about how he got to a certain age, like 3 years old, and then he just shut down entirely. And then the father says it was like somebody stole my son. And that's tough. That's tough, especially as any parent looking at that kind of stuff. And this movie will weed out if you're a robot or not, honestly, because it is just, it's a very emotional story. And it's interesting to see this kid who flourished and became a real functioning member of society through Disney films. Like it's an incredible story. Owen Suskind is the kid, the man that's at the center of this documentary, and I found this film absolutely astounding. It's also got an animation done around everything that's kind of Owen's story as well, because he likes to write his own stories using the stories that he loves, and he calls himself the protector of the sidekicks and makes his own kind of cartoon within the movie. This film is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and I really love this. This one's a 5.
Oh,
yeah, this one's beautiful.
5, an animated 5.
That's right.
Awesome, man. So is it going to? So you really like it, and usually these documentaries we're starting to see at this time of year sometimes get remembered around Oscar time. You think this is one?
Yeah. I think if this one isn't in the conversation, then there's something wrong, or not enough people have seen it. And I think with enough word of mouth, a lot of people are going to see this movie.
Cool, man.
Especially with the Disney connection.
Right.
Like that, I mean, Disney is kind of something that almost connects all of us. I think most people have at least one Disney film in their mind that they're.
That's why everybody
totally
wants to
about.
make the pilgrimage, you know, to either California or Florida at some point with the family and give that magic to the kids, you know, going there. And yeah, totally. We're all connected by Disney cartoons.
Exactly. You know, for those people that don't want to take down RottenTomatoes.com, this is a 93% certified.
So there you go.
So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. We also have another documentary this week before we get into some VOD talk. It comes from Werner Herzog. He is an alien of a German who looks at everything through his alien microscope. This is, lo and behold, Reveries of the Connected World. Take a look.
That is the goal of RoboCup. That is by 2050 to have a team of soccer-playing robots which can defeat the FIFA World Champions, and we'll see it happen. I'm very hopeful that we'll actually get a team of robots which are competent enough and smart and intelligent enough to actually beat the world champions in 2050.
Better than Messi, Ronaldo, and Neymar.
It sounds difficult, but we can get there. We can get there. We have a certain reverence for Robot 8. I mean, to us, saying Robot 8 is equivalent to someone saying Messi or Ronaldo or something. It's the same.
What the hell?
Carnegie Mellon.
This here is Robot 8.
A lot of interesting stuff
It's
going on
very
there.
identifiable because its pattern includes 4 green dots on top, and it's one of our favorites, actually.
Beautiful. Do you love it?
Yes, we do. We do love Robot 8.
What?
See what I mean by Herzog? He was always the interviewer in his films as well, and just the weird emotions that he tries to evoke out of people and stuff like that, and just the weird way that he looks at it. That's why I call this guy like an alien. He is a human alien because his films are all about dissecting weird aspects of the subject matter that he's talking about. And this time he's deciding to take a look at technology and the internet and everything that kind of connects everybody now, because we are all kind of connected by our smartphones, by Wi-Fi, by all this kind of stuff. So he's delving into that field, and usually every subject that he delves into much like an alien. that has never seen technology before. I mean, his Encounters at the End of the World, he was acting like an alien in the middle of Antarctica. Like, it's just, he's just always an interesting documentarian just for that reason. So check out, lo and behold, Reveries of the Connected World.
There we go.
All right. And the next film that we're talking about, Trevor and I actually went to the one-night special screening of the film. Now it is on Blu-ray and DVD. People have been waiting a long time for this one. It's the adaptation of Alan Moore's classic Batman and Joker tale. This is Batman: The Killing Joke. Take a look.
Ah, there you are. So, had enough time to look over the property? It's what you're looking for?
Well, it's garish, ugly, and smells like piss. Can't quite make out whether it's bums or rats, but it's piss. I'm a connoisseur when it comes to eau de toilette. As for the rides, any innocent little child getting on one could be maimed, or worse.
So, you don't like it?
He's great.
Don't
Really
like
is.
it. I'm crazy for it.
Okay. Okay, that's great. So, the price, with what you've mentioned, we can negotiate.
No need to. Sure, your price is steep, but as I look around, all I can see is that I'll be making a killing. And money? Not a problem. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Now, it's interesting to bring The Killing Joke and Mark Hamill doing the voice of the Joker, because that is really the Joker I love.
Absolutely.
Especially on the episode where we're doing Suicide Squad as well. From a Joker that I really didn't appreciate to a Joker that I really do appreciate. I just wish I appreciated this movie as much as I appreciate Mark Hamill in it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone argued with the casting choice of, voice actor Mark Hamill for the role as Joker. Yeah, it's this movie, not even just the voice acting, but that I had a problem with, but just the animation style just seemed a little, it just didn't seem like the best.
You couldn't boost it for the big screen? Like, really?
No, like it was just very grainy, choppy, the way they edited it at times. And obviously the story is supposed to be following the graphic novel.
But they don't even get into that until half an hour into it.
They spend the first half hour on the craziest nonsense.
And ruining Batgirl's character.
Like just trying to set up some sort of relationship between Batman and Batgirl. And they spent half an hour to do that. They really didn't need to.
No.
And it really took away from what made the graphic novel great.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
If you're gonna do graphic novel, which they've done before, DC Animated is actually the one thing about the DC universe that I've really appreciated over the years. They've done a really good job with their animated films, and you can see them on Netflix. And they have done straight sort of or close to adaptations of comic books and have done them somewhat justice. But The Killing Joke it was all over the place.
Exactly. I mean, the adaptation was written by Brian Azzarello, who decided to put his own mark by doing the first half an hour and kind of really fucking everything up. This is the same guy that when he was given Wonder Woman for the New 52, completely retconned her origin story and changed that to she was like a product of rape and stuff. And it's just like, he just has issues with continuity apparently, and he just always wants to throw his dastardly spike into it.
Yeah.
And he really does with Killing Joke. I left the film incredibly disappointed.
You were kind of upset because that's one of the books you like. The stories
I really
that you like.
do. Yeah, I really
a lot of
do.
comic book nerds do, right?
I really do.
Like,
And even Kevin Conroy sounded like he had no energy as Batman in this one.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but yeah, he just wasn't very good. He just sounded like his best
like
days.
an old man.
His Batman days are behind him.
Yeah, so it was kind of like as both fans of the animated series, it was just a real sobering moment that Kevin Conroy is getting old. It was really sad. So now let's move into even worse. We're going to break down the walls of awfulness and just see what the sludge is underneath. And unfortunately, this comes from director Gary Marshall, who unfortunately passed within the last couple of weeks. This film is called Mother's Day. Take a quick look.
Hey, Peter, where did that come from? No junk food for breakfast anymore.
Dad brought them. He lets us.
She was like almost doing a Rachel. Like this is what Rachel continues on to or something.
It's called free balling, Mom.
swear. Where are all of these ants?
It happened in the backyard.
Peter, I'm not kidding. I'm counting to 3. 1, 2, 3. What? When did that stop working?
Come on. I brought a box of donuts. It's not a federal offense, but I will take credit for the underwear.
Wow.
Okay.
Trevor, why don't you take a quick look on the sheet here and give me the Rotten Tomatoes number.
That's a big whopping 7%, Steve.
Now give me the Metascore.
We've got a Metascore of, wow, a big 18.
Me and the wife went through this film over the weekend. It's a 2-hour-long film of just what the fuck is going on. You are like, this was me watching the movie the whole time of just like, are you serious? Like every story in this, every character in this movie is connected by some crazy reason or another, and it's just the worst sappy garbage over and over again. Julia Roberts got paid $3 million for 4 days work in this, and she is fucking awful.
Oh.
Awful. Just awful. Kate Hudson, I don't know why they keep giving this woman work. She is just horrible in this
don't
film.
mind her. I love Kate Hudson.
She is so bad. I mean, between this and Rock the Casbah, I have not seen her in a good movie in the last while. Like, she has just got so many issues up the yin-yang. She needs either a reinvention or just somebody to write a script that actually works for her style of acting, because none of this shit is working. Jason Sudeikis is muffled in this movie. He is horrible in this movie. It's almost like he's been under a gag order not to be funny. This movie is just so bad, and there's 5 writers on this movie too, including Gary Marshall himself, who was 81 years old when he died. You can tell this movie was written by an 80-year-old. You can really tell, because they say things like, "Yo, you should tweet me," and like really like the way that they deliver some of the smart and quick dialogue is so like operating in the mid-80s. Like it's bad.
It's too bad.
So bad. Avoid like the plague. If someone says, "Hey, do you want to watch this?" Take that as they pulled a gun on you.
Yeah, if your girlfriend or boyfriend goes, "Hey, Jennifer Aniston, you want to watch the new Jennifer Aniston movie?" Don't.
Get out the window. Out the window.
Get going.
Even
no
if
Jennifer Aniston for you.
Even if it's a sliding door, jump through it like a fucking action hero. Just do not watch that movie. All right, so now let's clear the air here. Let's get to our Netflix and VOD recommendations. All right. So I saw a movie last year at VIFF. It came out in Vancouver in a limited release this year, just a couple months ago. And now it is on Blu-ray. You can own this movie yourself or just check it out on VOD. It is Ben Wheatley's adaptation of J.G. Ballard's High Rise. Take a look.
Yes, I'm afraid I'm not very good at this sort of thing.
Slotting in, you mean?
Yes, I was rather expecting to find a certain kind of anonymity.
Don't worry. People don't usually care what happens 2 floors above or below them.
Good.
Charlotte's different. She's on all sorts of committees. She said your tenancy application was very Byronic.
Is she really? Well, I'm determined to get everything right.
Right. Top up?
Yes, thank you.
Which floor are you?
25, 1 floor down.
Tennis?
No, squash, actually.
It's 20, I think. Why here, not a bachelor pad in town?
An investment in the future, I suppose. I felt like I needed a clean slate to put my mark on.
We're down in the bottom, in all sorts of shadows. Most families are. Real ones, anyway.
You blocked the shoot.
I'm sorry?
Oh, this is Steele. He's in teeth.
You don't know how things work around here yet, do you?
No, but I'm a fast learner.
Yeah. Hiddleston is so fucking charming. The guy's just charming.
Does he just charm the shoes right off you?
I think so. Usually what I see him in, he's just very charming. Even as Loki, he's very charming. So this film, the book was released in the 70s, and for years people said it's almost impossible to make this film.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Wheatley takes this on in almost a Stanley Kubrick style take on it. It's about a high-rise building created by a prominent architect played by Jeremy Irons, who tries to put every class hierarchy in the same high rise, the rich people on the top and the poorer class down below. The power goes out and anarchy happens. Classes break down, debauchery and every other horrible thing start to take place. I love this movie. It's gorgeous to look at. It's insane and excessive, which probably shows you the sensibilities of what I kind of dig in on films. Ben Wheatley is just one of those directors to watch. That's why I love High Rise, and that's why I'm recommending it this week.
Yeah, it's a pretty fucked up film.
Yeah, totally.
Some people are gonna like it, some people aren't.
It's very black and white. You're either gonna love it, or you're gonna hate it.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. Keep that in mind. But yeah, man, it's a good pick. Yeah. I went and I appreciate you letting me go with this one.
Yeah,
Thank
of course,
you.
Of course. Yeah.
Keanu, Key and Peele. If you're familiar with their sketch comedy that they've done for a while now, they have a feature film, and basically what they are, the characters out there looking for their cat. It went lost, and I think we have a clip right here.
Okay, look, bro. I'll be real with you, okay? I'm so high right now. I'm not even sure you're real. I mean, it's like, where am I? Where did all these eels come from?
No. Hooker, who would want to break into your house?
The blips. Man, the blips.
The Blips.
These are the guys that were kicked out of the Bloods and Crips. The blips. Blood Crips, blips. I got
love
into
Will
kind of
Forte.
selling heavier
For
stuff.
how little he
When
is in
you're
this
selling heavier
movie.
stuff, turf becomes a thing, you know? And so, yeah, I mean, the 17th Street Blips, they did tell me, you know, they're gonna break in, but, I mean, that's not like concrete proof.
The 17th Street Blips. Okay, where are they?
17th Street.
Just an easy answer.
So they go on as Clarence and Rel, and so they infiltrate sort of the underground or the underbelly of criminal gangs and stuff, so they could try to find their cat Keanu.
Yes.
It's almost like this film tried to throw as many jokes as possible, and a lot of them do land, right?
Yeah.
And it is really, really funny with a little bit of heart. But oh my God, is the kitty ever cute?
Yes.
My God, I think they used like 7 different kittens to give you like the cutest kitten shots you could possibly ever have in a film. So while you have all this chaos going on and great comedy, especially if you've, stoner flick for sure. Future stoner flick. It's on our VOD picks, and probably in 2 weeks, Steve will make it a stoner flick.
Why not?
It's just funny, but there's a lot of cuteness, a little bit of heart, and it's a really good film for their first feature. And I thought, it did drag a little bit in the third act, but at the same time, if you're a fan of their sketch comedy, it's like an extended version of some of their skits. So
exactly.
It was good. And Keanu Reeves has a really interesting part in it.
He does. A very nice cameo. And I love their gangster names because it's Jordan Peele is Tectonic, and Keegan-Michael Key is Shark Tank.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
They have their stories, and Jordan Peele goes, "My name is Tectonic. I once killed 3 men with 1 bullet. I also got to see an advanced screening of the Blair Witch Project." So funny. So funny.
Hardcore, man.
So yeah, that's their gangster.
Director Peter Antincio?
Yes.
Yes. He's actually doing, I looked him up, and he has another film coming out after this called Jean-Claude Van Johnson. And it stars Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I'm in.
It's a comedy.
I'm in. He did a movie called Welcome to the Jungle that was kind of direct to video with a whole shitload of comedic actors like Adam Brody and a bunch of stuff. And he's really funny in that movie. Actually, I recommend anybody to check that one out if you can find it.
Yeah, and of course he's obviously associated with Key and Peele as well.
Yeah,
and their comedy.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good pick for sure too. So now let's get into our newscaster roles and deliver you a few spots of news this week.
Hello, and welcome back to another exciting news flash from Flix Anonymous. Tonight's episode was brought to you by Cannabis Network, keeping cannabis in your life.
Never gets old. Never gets old. Still so much fun. Still so much
getting
fun.
electrocuted.
All right, so more remake news coming your way this week as they've just solidified the remake of Ron Howard's Splash. Do you remember Splash? Tom
Yes,
Hanks, Daryl Hannah.
come on, Splash.
Daryl Hannah was so pretty.
Daryl Hannah
So
was,
pretty. Tom Hanks, so charming.
She was like the Margot Robbie of the 80s.
There you go. It's the early 80s. Then she would also do Blade Runner as Triss.
Yes, she
who,
did.
I mean, that's where I really fell for Daryl Hannah. But now we're getting the remake, but we're swapping the genre this time, as you know, likes to happen these days. We have a merman. We have a woman. The woman is played by Jillian Bell. Did you ever see 22 Jump Street, the sequel? Yeah. She's the one that is the bad guy.
Okay. Bad
She's
lady.
very funny. She's on the show Workaholics. She also has her own show now called Idiot Sitter, which I implore you to go find because it's hilarious. Comedy Central really loves her, and obviously the filmmakers are really starting to love her as well as a comedic talent because she plays your main character this one, and your merman this time, Channing Tatum.
Of course.
So
Why not?
Channing Tatum's got comedy chops. I'm kind of a guy that celebrates Channing Tatum because I really do enjoy him.
Do you celebrate his whole catalog?
I'm not really a big Magic Mike guy.
Especially number 2.
Ooh, I can't even say that I ventured into that one. But I mean, is this one going to turn up? I don't know. Disney's behind making it. We don't have a director yet. I'm sure we have writers working on it right now.
I just don't like some remakes I'm okay with. But this one, I just don't know. And then to actually make it kind of, I don't know, a male.
Due to the gender swap. I'm just waiting.
Gender swap thing just doesn't work.
I'm just waiting for a problem child with a redheaded little girl.
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean?
Let's just
Like,
remake them and change the sex because that's, you know, for somehow, I guess that's supposed to work.
Well, there are some people out there that are still trying to get that one film made. And that one of those men is Terry Gilliam. That's trying to get The Man Who Killed Don Quixote made after having a flood take away his equipment, sandstorms canceled production, and actors getting hurt. Now he is in production now of making this Man Who Killed Don Quixote. The main character of this film is a time-traveling journalist played by Adam Driver now. It was originally supposed to be Johnny Depp. Yeah. Supposed to be Johnny Depp originally when they were originally planning this one. And Don Quixote is an old man in this film. And originally it was supposed to be played by a French actor, Jean Rochefort. Now Monty Python alumni Michael Palin plays Don Quixote this time. I want this film to work.
I do.
I really do want
just
this film to
because
work.
it's, you know, it's his passion project.
It is, and it seems like that's just the one that keeps getting away.
Yeah.
And I have nothing but the utmost respect for Terry Gilliam.
Oh, for sure, and everybody involved with Monty Python.
Yeah.
I do. I have a special spot in my little heart for them.
Definitely. Definitely. So I want this to succeed. I want this to come to the screen. And some of the elements of the story kind of remind me of one of Gilliam's early movies, The Adventures of Baron Munchausen.
Okay.
So I kind of like a very dusty type movie with a lot of adventure and flight and fancy to it. Yeah. So make this film, Terry. Make this film.
Let's see.
I'm excited for this one.
I hope it works out for him.
The other thing we have on the last news article is the Uncharted video game. It's been a massive hit. They've made four video games so far.
Right.
And Nathan Drake's story looks to be something that could transition well to the big screen and be almost your Neo Indiana Jones is kind of what it's been geared to be.
Yeah.
But now the film has a writer. Joe Carnahan is going to be writing this film. And Joe Carnahan is a director and a writer that I really enjoy. He started his career with a film called Narc. He did Smoking Aces. He did The A-Team. He did that Liam Neeson Wolf movie, The Grey. The guy has action chops. Like, he just kind of knows what he's doing. So him doing Uncharted,
you like A-Team, eh?
Bring it on. I really do dig A-Team.
Yeah.
That is like a stoner pick. That is a Netflix pick. I would always recommend. Smoking Aces is such a great film, and Narc is a very underrated undercover drug film. Jason Patric turns in a really great performance. Ray Liotta is such a great heavy in that movie. Carnahan has a really interesting career, and I think he has an interesting style of writing that would add a lot of weight to a film like Uncharted.
Uncharted.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. So now let's get into that couch locked feel.
Oh, about time, Steve.
Get the weight off your shoulders.
Let's do it, man.
Turn on the television, light up a joint, and give you our stoner picks.
Yes.
All right. So Keanu was originally going to be my stoner pick.
Keanu, yeah, and you let me do it for the VODs.
Yep, I did. So, but there is another comedy that is out on Blu-ray this week. Well, Blu-ray, you're going to have to, order it online or go to one of the specialty warehouse places to grab this one because they didn't give it to Canada in Blu-ray, but you can find it on DVD. It is Big Bang Theory's Melissa Roach who wrote this film, stars in it. The film is called The Bronze. Take a look.
You can get it online though, right?
Here you go.
Thank you.
This looks hilarious.
Oh, it's so
and that
This
looks
is a
so
joke,
good.
right?
Michael Phelps eats 12,000 calories a day. Coach P's diet has 500. Who's a better role model? A guy with 22 medals or a chubby Russian taking a dirt nap?
But aren't guy swimmers different than girl gymnasts?
Casey B. Anthony told us that men and women are equal.
You mean Susan B. Anthony, right?
Both of them. Maggie, if you trust me, you will eat this food. Open your mouth and put it in.
So I think people are very used to the sweet little Bernadette character from Big Bang Theory. This is definitely not the case. And this is one of those character comedies, those dirtbag character comedies that are usually played by men, but this time is played by Melissa Roach, and she is just an awful human being in this film. The beginning of the film, because she's a former gymnast and the kind of the sweetheart of her town that is... her career kind of ended after that, but she's still leeching on to that whole being the small town sweetheart,
right?
And everything, even though she's just a cantankerous little shit.
Yeah.
The beginning of the movie, it has her watching her medal-winning performance where she won the bronze at the Olympics, but she's masturbating to it because she's just that much big of her ego.
So offside humor.
Oh,
right?
it's such offside. It reminded me of Danny McBride when he did that Foot Fist Way, where he was playing the karate instructor that was just a horrible human being.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that. So if you're into the Jody Hill, Danny McBride type of humor, I think you will dig this one. It kind of reminds me of just of those dirtbag films. Gary Cole plays her father from Office Space, Lumberg, and he is so fantastic. He's so endearing. You just want to hug Gary Cole. He's so good in this film.
Best.
Thomas Middleditch from Silicon Valley plays one of the main characters in this film as well. I really dig this film, but do not look at the Rotten Tomatoes in this one. It's sitting at an 11%, an undeserved 11%, really. I really thought this film was funny. There are a few critics out there that agree with me, at least in Vancouver alone. So
it's the perfect stoner film because a lot of our stoner films probably don't make it past 3.
That's exactly it.
There's a reason for it sometimes.
Yeah, so check out The Bronze for sure.
Guilty pleasures, my friends, guilty pleasures, and I found a guilty pleasure on Netflix.
You totally did. Holy crap.
Funny or Die. If you've probably seen a lot of their stuff online. They have a feature with Johnny Depp. This took right out of left field. I heard about this.
And it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah. And Johnny Depp plays Donald Trump. And so I thought I'd bring it for a stoner flick because it's kind of relevant in this time and day. So here's a clip of Trump's Art of the Deal by Funny and Die. Oh my God. Take a look.
The love of my life. My wife, the Czechoslovakian immigrant, Ivana Trump.
Yeah, it's easy.
Are you a princess? Not hardly. Sir Donald has me working all the day at the casino.
What she's talking about is the most elegant, sensational Trump castle in Atlantic City. She runs it.
Oh, yes.
Taj Mahal is still the ultimate dream, of course.
Yes, it is a building more beautiful than anything or anyone.
That is correct.
Yes, I know. He make me dress up as the Taj Mahal sometimes. It's very heavy. I broke my clavicle once.
Honestly, Ivana's jealous because she won't be buried in the Taj Mahal since she's not my third wife. But, being entombed forever in Trump Castle. Not so bad.
It actually used to be a Hilton.
One of my all-time great deals. You see that? Tony, zoom in on the model. Can you look? Me and the model. Can you see it? Look, look. Huh? Huh? No. Stop. Deal with your foods.
Is that Mimi Rogers playing Ivanka?
Oh, it's political satire. Now, it's
So
not
great.
like, you know, it's not satire like Blazing Saddles or, you know, Life of Brian or anything like that. It's going to be that memorable.
Mhm.
But for this time, right now, with all the crazy stuff that's going on in real life, quite frankly, satire and real life kind of almost go hand in hand right now.
Sometimes I wonder which is which.
Yeah, exactly. It's a shit show
Yeah.
already. Johnny Depp's mannerisms, how he just nails Donald Trump. The voice still sounds a little bit like Johnny Depp, where when he tries to do, kind of does a bit of the New York accent, it almost sounds like, you know, he's like Donnie Brasco.
Oh,
you know,
right. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
Fugazi. Forget about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, you have to understand Donald Trump's career as well to understand some of the jokes. It's kind of some inside jokes, but there's some very funny scenes. It's not very long. I think it's probably like, I don't know, 45 minutes long or something like that. It's not very long at all, and it's on Netflix. Really good to watch after you're completely ripped and baked. It's pretty funny.
Oh, awesome.
Some good little satire jokes. So give that one a try, man.
Definitely. Again, I'm really happy with our picks this week, both VOD, Netflix, and
Major
and
couch
Stoner.
lot going on. Easy to do.
Definitely, yeah. Those are a lineup of films that you're going to be really interested in for sure. It'll definitely give your brain a whirl for
Yeah.
sure. But that brings us to the end of episode 39, the finale of our goaltender series. The Dominator episode, we'll call it. We'll call it or a really overpaid goaltender. Let's just really overplayed goaltender episode.
Yeah.
But of course, our home is right here on the Cannabis Life Network, who are national company as well. We also have the LeagueOfManchildren.com they're showing us, and the DailyHive, who are also national.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just keep saying that.
National. Apparently I'm having a stroke. But you can find me on Twitter and yell at me if you want.
Just wait till we're international.
Or tell me that stroke jokes
Steve
aren't funny.
will die.
I am at the œStevil Dead.
I'm at Trev Dueck.
Yes.
International.
International Trevor
International Trevor Dueck. You're just national.
Yeah.
I'm universal.
I'm the national man of mystery, we'll
Yeah.
say. I work for
God.
CSIS. Anyway, I don't work for CSIS, so don't look into that. Holy crap. Next week,
Holy
what's
crap
going
is right.
on? What's going on next week? 10 films. This is insane.
Jeez, man.
This is such a large slate of films. We have a bunch in regular release. We have a bunch in limited release. We have Disney's live action take on Pete's Dragon coming out next week. It looks very dark. I'm really feeling a little weird on this film. And Seth Rogen and his buddies get animated as food next week, which, this has got
Thank you.
Stoner Pick written all over it. We get a woman's version of Wall Street starring Skylar White from Breaking Bad. We have an undercover drug story with Bryan Cranston, so there's another
Breaking Bad connection.
Breaking Bad connection. There is a brand new Meryl Streep film with Stephen Frears directing it.
It's getting a little bit of buzz.
Yeah, definitely. And a World War II thriller that is in a time that doesn't really get a lot of focus in films. In limited releases, we see an inspirational documentary as well as a not-so-inspirational political one, and 2 cast-loaded comedies coming your way. That is it for us on Flix Anonymous, and we'll check you next week. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, you crazy cinephiles. Thanks for listening to Flix Anonymous. We can be heard weekly on VanCityBuzz.com and LeagueOfManchildren.com. Feel free to send us nasty and abusive social media messages on Twitter at FlixAnon. If you need more characters to tell us how much we suck, you can find Flix Anonymous on Facebook. Until next week, may your weed be sticky and your scotch be hoppy.